I was scared of this, dude. And I've never been like that with this prototypical zombie trope. And like the humans that survived this apocalypse or grew up through the terrible mist of it are the worst people that, or the worst humans or worst species that coincide within this apocalypse. I've never been scared of any character like that. This character scared me. And particularly, there's a barn scene. In that scene where he's introducing everyone to Jimmy's and he says Roberto Calamari, after he lets them know his plan of this, like, hey, we're going to leave, but we're going to kill you first, we get to a barn where all the characters except for one, who's this pregnant lady who's on top of the roof, and they're hanged up. And you're like, oh no, what are they going to do? Is he just going to slice their throats, watch one another get killed? It's far worse than that. He goes on this tangent about how these are all the fingers of Satan's claw, of Satan's hand, and we're going to do some charity. And usually you equate charity to this good and loving term, but his charity is, we're going to do some fucked up things to you, and we're going to give your soul to Satan after we do so. And in this scene, he does this thing called taking their shirt off, or unshirting them. I forget exactly what the term he uses, but in the moment I'm like, oh, so I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to cut open their stomach or whatever the hell's going to happen. When he unshirts them, he's skinning them from neck down to make it look like they're wearing a shirt, except it's their peeled off flesh. And there's 4 people hanging, and 3 of the 4 people he does it to. And I almost threw up watching it. I almost threw up. And I've never had that feeling in a movie theater. The only time I really had that in my life was when I was younger watching Human Centipede, but that was just torture porn and just ridiculously over the top. Now, somebody say, Matt, you love Terrifier. How didn't you feel that way during Terrifier? I don't know. I didn't feel that way during Terrifier, as gross as those films are. But I almost threw up here because there's a scene where there's this guy, and one of the Jimmies takes off his shirt, starts cutting his chest, and he puts his fingers in his flesh and pulls it down. And it's like, what the fuck? And it's just crazy. And the scariest villains have a philosophy that kind of makes sense.